Good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for joining us as we start our second edition of today's Job Connection Zoom meeting, kind of like a podcast. We have a very special guest that's going to talk to us about what he does for Goodwill and how he can help some of our clients and help some of you guys. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you guys of our mission here at Goodwill. Our mission is to prove the lives of people with disabilities or other disadvantages through employment training and job placement opportunities. Also, if any of this content if this information is interesting to you or you got any information you want to share with us, feel free to reach us at www.goodwillnwohio.com. You can reach us on our Facebook page at Goodwill Now or at JCCNWO. You could come in person at the Madison or DeVoe location, or you could call us at 419-255-0070, extension 3104, or feel free to email us at jcc@goodwillnwohio.org. So now that we got all of that out of the way, again, I just want to thank you guys for joining us. So without further wait, I'm going to actually let him introduce himself and let him introduce himself.
Hey, Charles, thank you so much for inviting me on the program on today. Everyone, my name is Eric Slack, and I work for Goodwill. I'm a community employment specialist, and I assist people not only with getting jobs, but I assist people through our ReEntry program because we help people that are returning members to society in order to get job training, experience, and employment opportunity. So those are the things that we focus on, as well as removing barriers so that they can successfully gain sustainable employment so they can move on to the next chapter in their life.
Thank you so much for joining us. So we're just going to kind of get right into it. So when we talk about the population you serve, the returning citizens, do you only work with men or do you work with both men and women?
Oh, we work with both men and women. One of the things that we did notice is that there are a significant amount of women that are returning citizens to Lucas County.
Right.
And we have our doors open to them. As a matter of fact, there is a halfway house that is right down a few blocks from Goodwill Industries called Ohio Link. And we get a number of referrals from there, as well as from pre-release, as well as from the electronic monitoring and CTF, which is the Community Treatment Facility. So we get referrals of all types of individuals, but women definitely have increased in number, and that is a population that we definitely serve.
So you talked about referrals. Do you only work with people that come with referrals, or can they come in just to say, hey, I'm a returning citizen, I heard about you guys and I need some help?
We work with both.
Okay.
We have a number of individuals that walk in, people that hear about us from various agencies or various resources, United Way 211, as I said, Ohio Link, and any of those other agencies. Also, we do a significant amount of work with Cherry Street Mission. So people that go there to eat will hear about us from their case resource managers, and they will come here. Or people will just hear about us in the community, and they will just, what I call drop in and say, I heard about you from a friend or from a relative. Is there something that you could do for me? So pretty much whosoever comes, we service them and try our best to take care of them.
Okay, so can you explain to me the process or what it looks like for a person who's coming in off the street who didn't get your normal proper referral, who just kind of came in? So if I was a client that was coming in, can you walk me through that process of maybe what I would need to have that day or what to expect?
Sure. Well, first what we do is we have you come in and we listen to your story, because everyone has a story and every story is significant. And then we look at where a person wants to go. Do they want job training? Do they want to accomplish a job at the end of this particular chapter? Do they want to get a certificate? Because we also will allow people to get certificates in forklift training. We look at exactly what they want to do. If they want a job with goodwill, or if they want a job in private industry or the public sector. And then we'll begin to put a plan together in order for them to achieve that goal. So we then look at what they have to work with. And we see if they have a resume, if they have clothing, if they have work clothing. Then we will look at what other barriers that they may be facing. So do they need assistance with getting a birth certificate? Do they have restrictions on their driver's license? Do they need various items of clothing just in general? We'll look at that, and then we'll try to remove as many barriers as we possibly can with our funding. And then we will hone in on that particular job opportunity. One of the things that we do is we work, obviously, hand in hand with the JCC in order to make sure that they have a resume, to make sure that they have a email account, to make sure that they have all of the tools in their toolbox in order for us to get them a job. Then we will look to see where they want their job. And we'll begin to see if we could do online applications or in-person applications, or if there's someone that we know that we could make sure that we give them a warm handoff to try to get that job opportunity. And then what we do, so we assess them, remove any barriers, try to get them a job opportunity. We just don't leave them once they get the job. We want to make sure that they are in a position where they're sustainable, so that we will offer support to them to make sure that not only do they get the job, but they thrive in the job, that they are able to meet their outcomes and their deliverables. So we kind of stick with them and make sure that they're doing okay. We talk to them, we talk to their supervisor, we ask their supervisor if there's any help that we can offer them or assistance, to make sure that it's not only a good fit, but that it is a sustainable fit.
Good. That's so much good information. One of the things I heard you talk about were some of the barriers that they're facing and how we help remove them. What are the? I mean, I know it could be a lot of different barriers, but what are some of the main ones that you saying that these clients are facing?
Sure. The main ones are the people that just walk in are birth certificates.
Right.
Because we have people that have been in custody and they have given their items over to an agency, or things get lost, or people have moved where they had things, so they don't have a birth certificate. And nowadays, a birth certificate costs $25, which is a lot of money, particularly if you're someone that is just getting released or just trying to get back on your feet again. So we will get your birth certificate, whether it's in Lucas County or out of the jurisdiction. If you need a state ID, we will help you get your state ID, because again, that is an outlay of cash. So we will help you gather all of your documentation, because nowadays, if you don't have a state ID, you don't have a birth certificate, then it is difficult for you to obtain employment, or to open a bank account, or to maneuver through society. So those are the basic things that we look at trying to help you with. Also, in certain instances, we will assist you with fines and costs. If you have court fines and costs that are preventing you from obtaining your driver's license. So those are the basic things that we offer in order to get people in position so that they can get a job. And as I indicated before, if they do get a job, then we will assist you if there are certain items that are prerequisites in order for you to keep the job. An example, steel-toe boots. We get people that get manufacturing job. And they have to have steel-toe boots in order to keep the job. So we will assist people with getting steel-toe boots, or with goggles, or work gloves, or things of that nature. In certain instances, we will even help people with tools. If they're getting a skilled trade position, we will help them with tools in order to remove those, what we call barriers, in order to make sure that they can smoothly and seamlessly get that job and keep that job.
Right. That's good information. How long is the process, or how long do you work with clients? Is it you have 3 months to get all you can get, or is it a lifetime partnership, or what's the process like as far as how long you actually working with clients?
Pretty much, once you're with us, we consider you to be family. So
Okay.
yeah, the only way you can get rid of us is through death.
Okay.
We keep you. We like to keep you at least for 18 months to make
Okay.
sure that we can track your progress. Because as I said, we just don't want to make sure that you get the job. That is a nice, favorable outcome. But we want to track you afterwards. We want to make sure that even though we don't do housing, we want to make sure that your housing is in a stable position. We want to make sure that your finances are in a stable position, because we make referrals to ProMedica to make sure that your finances in order, so that when you start receiving those paychecks, that you know what to do with them. So we want to take a pretty holistic approach to make sure that your family is fine, that your finances are fine, that you are fine personally. If it's something that we don't offer, we try to refer you to make sure that as you're going along that expressway to success, that you will have the easiest and the most efficient route. We'll be there to help and support you, and as long as it takes. And we want to make sure that you're fine, and that you have a favorable outcome, and that you don't recidivate.
That is awesome. So, with all of these services and wraparound service that we offer, how much does this cost the client? I mean, I know this got to be an arm and a leg. How much is this actually costing the
Well, so the cost to the client is, wait for it, absolutely nothing.
client?
We offer these particular services for no fees, no costs. Any certifications that we offer, no fees or no costs. If you want to get your forklift certification, we don't charge you anything. And a lot of our costs or expenses, they just they don't apply to our clients, because we want to make sure that individuals are able to access our services and are able to receive our services. So they are not income based. You don't need to fall within a certain range of the poverty guidelines by the federal government. If you walk in here and ask for services, then we will provide them for you to make sure that you receive them. You don't have to pay for anything. All we ask is that you show up, you cooperate, you stick to your commitments, you do what we ask you to do, and you just follow through. That's all we ask.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And that's great information. For our viewers that's listening, I know a lot of times people think, what's the cost, or what is this going to cost me, or what do I have to do? But with this, it just seems like all you have to do is what you want to do, and that's to be successful. So that's great information. Speaking of success, can you offer us a success story? I mean, every time I talk to people about the different things that they do, you want to hear a success story. So can you share one? Do you have one with us that you can share?
Sure, sure. We have a number of success stories of individuals that have come through our particular program. One particular success story is a young lady by the name of Tracy that came to us, and Tracy did have a history, and she came through and she persevered in trying to get a job. She went through our training process, and Tracy has eventually ended up with a job at ProMedica. She is an environmentalist, and the environmentalists are the individuals that provide the sanitation and the cleaning of the hospital rooms after a patient leaves. Now, that is extremely important, and she got this position in December. And it is so interesting that now that her position is one of the most vital positions at the hospital, given the COVID-19 virus. So I spoke with her on last week, and she said that she is working so much overtime. I said that is a great story, because she went there with a desire to get work. She wanted to work in a hospital, and she found her niche. So I think that is a very good success story. Another success story is there's a young man named Sheldon that came to us. He saw me at Ohio Means Jobs, and I was doing a presentation for orientation day. And at the end of my presentation, I was walking out of the building and he flagged me down and he said, I need a job. I came here, I need a job. So he took my number and he called me and he said, listen, I've had a number of things in my background and I really need some assistance. So we eventually got him a part-time job here at Goodwill because we have a contracts division. They do janitorial work, they do landscaping work, and other types of work like that, industrial janitorial work. So we got him in as a part-time janitor. He worked his way up to being a full-time janitor and then a crew leader. And he did so well that he eventually was hired by another company. And he is now in training to be an industrial engineer. And he is doing quite well. And just think that he started from that particular process and he's doing so well now. I'm so proud of him. So Tracy and Sheldon are two individuals. And actually, both of them, as I said, they're doing what they like to do. So that's what we want to make sure too, is that you do what you like to do.
Right.
So those are a couple of the success stories that we're so proud of.
Right, man. Thank you for those, and thank you for everything you do to help with that process. I know you do it because you love it and you have a passion for it, but as a person that works in the field, it's a lot of sacrifices, and it can get a little tedious working with the clients and working with other agencies to try to get everything to kind of go perfectly for the client. So being an advocate, it can be tough. So thank you for that hard work and for all that you were able to do to help them and the other clients that you service. Just real quick, so when you think about these success stories and when you hear them, how does that make you feel as a person that's working with them?
Sure, it makes me feel so good. It makes me feel that we're accomplishing something. One of the things that we do here is we work as a team, and as members of the same team, we make sure that we are always cognizant of our success stories. When one of us does well, then all of us do well. And we want to make sure that the public hears about them, and we want to make sure that everyone that is part of the team, they hear about it too, because as John Maxwell said, it takes teamwork to make the dream work. Right. So you see the outcomes and you see that they're positive and you see the fruit of your labor. That is something that definitely sits well with you, and it makes you sleep well at night on a nice pillow of success.
Right. That is so true. That is so true. Thank you for all that great information. So before I let you go, do you have any tips for our returning citizens? Anything or any words of encouragement that you want to offer to anybody that's listening that is a returning citizen?
Sure. One of the things that we do have here in Toledo, Northwest Ohio, and Lucas County, we have a significant amount of resources that are available to you. You can contact us at Goodwill Industries of Northwest Ohio. My name is Eric Slack, and the phone number is the Goodwill phone number, and my extension is 3506. Also, there is a ReEntry Coalition of Northwest Ohio. They sponsor something called First Wednesdays, every Wednesday of the month, the first Wednesday of the month, rather. It is at 11 o'clock at One Government Center in the Toledo City Council room, and in that chambers. That's the first Wednesday of every month at 11 o'clock. There are a number of agencies that are there to assist you, that help you. So if you have problems with substance abuse, if you have problems with your family relationships, if you have problem with child support, if you have problems with any type of thing, almost every agency imaginable is there. And they have representatives there to help you and assist you. If you need other types of care, food, you can go to the Cherry Street Mission. We partner with them, and they have case managers that are there. So there are all types of resources, a veritable plethora of resources that are there to help you. Just reach out. Don't sit at home. Don't wallow in self-pity. No, there are people that are outside to help you, and there are individuals and resources that are available to you. So call, attend, engage yourself, and make sure that you participate in any of these activities, because they're all designed with you in mind, and they're designed to help you. Give me a call,
Thank you so much for that. So just a quick recap for our listeners. This is definitely the place to be. If you need some help, if you're a returning citizen, or if you're just in a position where you're doing some career searching or job searching. Um, One of the things that I learned from this, having this wonderful conversation with Mr. Slack, is not only do we offer a lot of resources, there's other places around, which I think is good. And I like the fact that we work as a team with different agencies. So there's no problem from what I'm hearing that's too big or too small that we can't help with. And that goes from job training, that goes to helping with materials for your job, for as like we said, steel toe boots, forklifting classes. These are trainings and certificates that can help you not only with maybe one job, but in your career. So this is a great opportunity. And again, if anything that we said interests you, feel free to give us a call. You can reach us at 419-255-0070, either my extension 3104 or Mr. Slack extension. You can also reach us um, via email at jcc@goodwillnwohio.org, and we can connect you to Mr. Slack for those services. So thank you again, sir, for joining us and for all that wonderful information. And thank you for all that you do to just help
My
and to be
pleasure.
an advocate. That's very huge, and I'm sure it's a lot of people that just want to thank you. A lot of people that you work with, because I know the population we work with, like you said, from Ohio Link, some of those ladies and gentlemen, they're here, we help them, and then they're gone. But I definitely know that you, in particular, leave a good mark with them, and you are always a ray of sunshine for them. They always talk highly of you, and they always are very appreciative about all of the work you do for them. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for all you do. And for our listeners, we will be back on again later on this week. We have another interesting guest coming to talk to us about Dress to Success. And we also have another guest that's talking to us about the Step Up to Work program. So again, if any of this information is valuable to you and you want any more information, feel free to contact us. Have a wonderful, wonderful, productive day. We will definitely see you guys soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you, sir.